Okay, hello and welcome to week two of Grand Arena Championships. A lot of modern media and literature uh, have the concept of gray characters. Something like Game of Thrones. You really don't have good or evil characters. You have a lot of characters with plenty of shades of gray. But a lot of classical literature, like Lord of the Rings, for example, had a very clearly defined evil side and a very clearly defined good side. And Star Wars falls under that category where you have a light side and then you have a dark side. And in all of Star Wars literature, media, movies, this aspect of the Star Wars universe is very clearly brought out. You have the light side, you have the dark side. The prequels talk about Vader's fall from the light side to the dark side, and the sequels talk about the original trilogy talks about the rise of Luke in the light side. And both the prequels and the sequels end with a huge transformation. The prequels end with the Vader's fall, and the sequels, the original trilogy ends with the Anakin's or Vader's redemption, basically. Now, the and a lot of Star Wars games have explored this concept very well. Star Wars game is really not a game if really not Star Wars if they don't really explore light and dark side. I mean, for those guys who've played Knights of the Old Republic, we had a very clear path where your own actions would determine whether you go to the light side or the dark side. That was a classic game which I really enjoyed. And in this game as well, they do explore a lot of the functionality of the light and dark side. You have when you begin the game, you get to develop, you get to choose whether to develop either the light side characters or the dark side characters by doing either of these cantina battles. But as time progresses, you get caught up in the meta, and in the light and dark side, that really doesn't come out as well until you get to TBs. Now, TBs is one area where we have completely light side territory battles, and then you have completely dark side territory battles where you only get to use one half of your roster. Now, why am I talking about all of this, and what does this have to do with the with Grand Arena Championship? So, I have been matched up with a guildmate of mine this in this match, BobaFett, and he is um, so he's a really great guy, great player, and we decided to get together and do something interesting for you guys. So I requested him whether he would accommodate this small request of mine, and what we decided to do was we decided to go in and play only one faction on defense and one faction on offense, or one alignment. So when I proposed the idea to him, I said, "Hey, let's put all our dark side characters on defense, and then attack only with light side, or put all our light side characters on defense and attack only with dark side." And what we did was we left it up to the guild to decide. So we put a little poll out in our group and in our guild on Discord, and we asked folks whether we should set full light side defense or full dark side defense. And as you can see over here from the results, overwhelmingly the result was we should be setting a dark side defense, just because it will make more interesting matches. So that's what we decided to do, and we decided to make it an experimental Grand Arena where we just see which faction is more fun to play with. Now, obviously, since we're setting a dark side defense, um, as you all are probably aware, dark side is has got a slight advantage at this stage of the game in terms of the meta tunes and characters and factions, and so it's going to be we're going to be using a very mediocre light side offensive against a really strong dark side defensive. And our rule for this particular Grand Arena Championship session was very simple. You can set whatever defense you want as long as it's 100% dark side, and you can use whatever offense you want provided it's 100% light side. So what are the implications of this? So what ends up happening is, so we basically know exactly what teams we are going to set for each other, because I counted that there are about maybe 9 to 11 really good dark side teams that each of us would have in our rosters. So setting 8 of those, we probably know exactly what those teams are going to be. And similarly, we have a little less, maybe 7 to 9 good light side teams. We struggle a little bit more to find 8 good light side teams for offense. but yeah, that's the way our guild has chosen. So that's what we're going to be doing. Now, what are the implications of this? We obviously we're going to be both of us are going to be setting our Darth Revens on defense, and unfortunately, the counters for Darth Revan on light side are extremely limited. So one thing to keep in mind is the Jedi Knight Revan counter that we'll be using requires Thrawn, and neither of us can use Thrawn on offense. The other counter is obviously the Suicide Squad, which we can't use because the bulk of those characters are dark side. And the other reliable counter is Padme. Now, Padme is definitely all light side, but the the cleanup in case you're not able to get through a Padme team, get through the Darth Revan team with Padme, the cleanup requires crew or bounty hunters, which are dark side. So Darth Revan is going to propose a problem for us, and we won't be able to. My guess is we won't be able to clear the board, but that's the way it is. The other thing that there are a couple of other implications. Obviously you can't use Canderous in a Karth team since Canderous is dark side. We won't be able to use our troopers on offense, and we have to keep it on defense if we decide to do that. We we won't be able to use our like I won't be able to use my Wampa and my Basti Wampa team that I love to run. So it really limits the amount of roster that the roster and skills that you have. It cuts it down by half, and it forces you to get creative and think outside the box. So that's basically what we'll end up doing. We do have some recently well developed new light side factions. I mean, you've got Shakti and the clones, you've got Padme and the Galactic Republic, and obviously Jedi Knight Revan. Both of us have pretty well developed. But you'll see when you take a look at the defenses that we've set, that it is going to be a challenge in clearing the board. All right, so let me briefly give you an idea about Boba Fett's roster before we move on to the attack session. Now, Boba Fett is extremely dark side heavy. He's got really well geared bounty hunters, G12 Bosk as well. He's got pretty good separatist squad as well. First order is pretty fast as well, mostly G12. Geonosians are pretty good as well. Only 1-0 on the Brood, but G12 over there. And his Sith Empire is all G12, so that's going to be a tough team if I encounter that. Sith as well is also pretty well developed. That's another thing. We're going to be seeing Treya on defense, and that's something that we typically don't see in Grand Arena at all. So this particular match will be facing a lot of teams that we typically don't see, and we'll be using a lot of teams on offense that we typically don't use as well. And then his light side is relatively weaker, but it's still pretty strong. His resistance is pretty well developed. He's got G13, Chewbacca, and Han Solo. His Nightsisters is something to be really proud of. He's got a really solid Daka with the Zeta. She's at about 91k health, and Zombie, Asajj, Spirit, all of them G13 as well. And yeah, his trooper team. Now, this is pretty unfortunate for him because his trooper team is way better than mine. It's all G12 and pretty fast. His Stark is about 264. Yeah, about the same speed as mine, but pretty well developed trooper team, which he won't be able to use on offense. And Geonosian, that's going to prove another problem for us because both of us will be seeing Geonosians on defense, and we won't have a Treyas to counter this. So so we'll have to think of some new and interesting ways to get these things down. So we're definitely going to take a hit in terms of banners, but it's going to be a fun match, and it's going to be something different, and I think we're going to enjoy playing this particular session. So let's go ahead and see. First, let's review what defenses I've set, and then I'll go to take a look at Boba Fett's defenses. So what I decided to do was, since I knew that, or I guessed very strongly that we won't be clearing each other, what I did was I went ahead and kept my 4 toughest teams right up there at the front. On top, I've kept my Darth Revan without Basti because I wanted to use Basti in my EP team. I kept my Darth Revan over here. And I've kept a Geo team over here. One weak spot that BobaFett has is that his Galactic Republic is not fully developed. They're all G12, but I believe they're missing quite a few Zetas. So I'm pretty certain that he'll have some amount of trouble getting through the Darth Revan team. So I've kept my Geos also over here because I want him to get stuck on this zone and not advance to the back. Because I've kept relatively weaker teams at the back over here. I've kept Bounty Hunters and Crew. And Crew I've kept with Dooku to prevent the Ewok counter, because Dooku is going to counter and stun them, or and go into hiding and cleanse his own debuffs. That is going to be problematic for Ewoks to take out. And similarly, Bounty Hunter, which you usually take in JTR against, by putting an IPD over there, who is Zeta'd, by the way. So that means that he's going to go and apply target lock, and then the JTR team will not be able to gain buffs. So it's just some way to counter them at all. So just two non-faction additions to these two teams, just to prevent the most common counters against these guys, Ewoks and JTR. So those two are my weakest teams that I've kept behind my two strongest teams over here in the front. And below, I've kept my next two strongest teams. I've kept my EP team with Treya. So this will probably require a CLS team to take out, but I also have Basti in there, who's going to provide plenty of debuffs to the team and just ensure that this team generates loads of turn meter. There's no tank apart from Scion, so I'm a little worried about that, but hopefully he overkills with something big over here before moving on to the back. And then I also have I've decided to keep Watt in a Vader team. So that's basically utilizing Watt's dot-based synergy. So Vader and Wampa are going to be utilizing that effectively. I've got Shore in there as a pre-taunter and tank, and Watt is going to go first and give Shore the tech, and Shore is going to end up taunting pretty consistently. He can't regenerate protection on his own, but he does have Thrawn to top him up if needed. So and hopefully after Shore gets that tech, Vader should get the survival tech, and Wampa should get the weapons blast, the attacker tech, and that should make this team pretty formidable. So even if I lose Watt, if he's able to get a couple of techs out, that will make this team great to go against. And then at the back over here, I've kept two other really tough teams, Grievous as well as Nightsisters. So hopefully he would have exhausted some good counters up in front. I'm hoping he exhausts his Treya, he won't have Treya, but he'll at least exhaust his Jedi Knight Revan and Basti. So that should make this team a little more tougher to take out. All right, let's go ahead and see what my opponent has set. So BobaFett has set his Darth Revan at the back, I'm guessing. So in the front, he's got his Bounty Hunters and he's got his Grievous team, and below he's kept his Crew team, and he's kept Nightsisters. Now these are really scary Nightsisters, so I'll have to think of something good to take against these. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear off the top zone first, and then attack the bottom zone once I see what's at the back. I know that there's going to be Treya at the back. There's going to be Darth Revan, probably a team with Watt as well, and Geos. All of those are missing from the front. So I'll probably have to save some of my best teams for the back, like CLS, Padme, and so on and so forth. There's really just one team to use against General Grievous, and that's going to be the Basti Wampa. So I'm going to take these guys in, and I'm wondering if I should go with Basti lead or Jedi Knight Revan lead. I think I'll go with Jedi Knight Revan lead. Yeah, banner's really not that important. I just want the extra offense from Jedi Knight Revan lead. And there's another thing, when Jedi Knight Revan dies, if he's not in the lead, Savior doesn't trigger for him. It only triggers for him if he's in the lead position. So that's another consideration. All right. Let's go in, and what I'm going to do is pass the turn meter on to Yoda. I'm going to save the I'm going to save the mark till we see Grievous. Oh, actually, I should have marked B2 Battle Droid. Okay, let me just at least get rid of him. Okay, Grievous is going to go. And now we can start working on Grievous. Once we get the mark, we will take care of that. Okay. And so Grievous is down. Now the team should come down pretty easily. Shouldn't be an issue. Let's heal some more. Apply buff immunity, and let's take care of this guy. So one team down. And we are going to be let's see what we can take against the other team before we move on. So this is definitely the best iteration of the Grievous team with Newt, but I really do wonder if Watt can find a place in with these guys. But that's something which I'll probably experiment in the coming week, since I now have Watt. I obviously couldn't keep Watt for offense to show you guys this time, just because of the theme of this match. But in the next Grand Arena match, I'll definitely save next few matches. I'll definitely save Watt on offense, just to showcase. All right, now against these guys, I think I'm going to take in my JTR. And these days I like to use JTR with let's see what droids I have. Yeah, all these are light side droids. I usually use instead of Resistance Trooper, I use another droid, typically T3M4 and IPD. That's the one. That's basically the Suicide Squad, but instead of IG-88 in the lead, I keep Jedi Training Ray in the lead. And obviously Grievous is not there, replaced by Resistance Trooper. But since I've geared up in Zeta T3M4, I like to use him under JTR when I'm not using him with the Suicide Squad. Okay, let's apply that over there and pass the. Let's reduce some more turn meter, and let's start working on Zam, because I don't like those thermals, and she's relatively squishy. Alright, so we don't have ability block yet on boss, so we need to take care of that. Let's reduce some more turn meter. Still no ability block. We are only delaying this by a little bit. Let's take care of Boba in the meantime. Alright, nobody needs healing. Let's finish him. Let's see if we can land a stun. Nope. Okay, let's finish working on Greedo. Alright, so now we have to go through Bosk, so let's do that. Another good thing about having T3M4 in the offensive squad is that you can recover health and protection of one droid using this ability, Repair Kit. 50% health and 50% protection. Typically, the only way to recover protection in Grievous in a resistance squad is through Illuminated Destiny. Well, you can do it with Holdo and Finn as well, but they are not Finn at least is not as well developed for me, so I typically just tend to go in with these guys. All right, So that was the JTR team against Bounty Hunters. Now, let's see what's at the back. There we go. There's the Treya, and we've got Watt with Dooku. So that's going to be interesting. I might have to CLS that. But yeah, CLS I might have to reserve for my Treya. And then I have to see something else for Watt. It looks like in the Watt team, Sith Trooper is going to end up getting the taunt, and probably Dooku will get the survivability tech since he's almost the weakest, and the attacker in that team should get the other tech, and in this case it's going to be either Jango Fett or yeah, this one is an attacker as well. So one of these is going to get the weapons blast mod tech. So we'll figure out what to do with that, but let's clear out the bottom zone first. Now let's see what we can take against the sisters, because they are definitely the toughest team left that I can see. Yeah, so I was planning to use my clones. Since I have my clones on offense, I was planning to use my clones against the sisters. But I wanted to use Rex lead instead of Shakti lead, because I don't really need the speed boost. I don't mind going second against the sisters just because I want Asajj to go first, and then I'll use Rex's tenacity up ability, because otherwise, whatever tenacity up I do, if Rex goes first under Shakti lead, then Asajj is going to dispel all of that, and then Talzin is going to follow it up with Plague, and then things are going to go dicey because there's limited healing on this team. There's only Shakti's ability. And the other thing that I decided to do was I decided to use Ahsoka Tano over here instead of another clone, or Barriss, because I basically just wanted healing over here. And Ahsoka Tano, on her basic, she recovers her own health, and her special gives her tons of healing as well. All allies recover 20% health, and Galactic Republic allies also get protection up, so that's some extra protection up that you get. And she also, anytime these guys use a special ability, she assists on her basic, and that will be really helpful in dispelling zombie. So let's see how this team does. I ideally would have taken my Basti Wampa against sisters, but that unfortunately is not available. And yeah, I fully G13 sisters, I would have probably gone ahead and used Padme or Jedi Knight Revan. But I'm really curious to see whether the clone team is going to work on offense or not. So let's go ahead and do this. Okay, so hopefully they're going to go first. No, Rex has gone first. I'm going to save the tenacity up for now. And let's see. All debuffs on all allies. What does this do? Call target other ally to assist. Okay, let's do that. I need to recover some health and protection there as well. That's what I was talking about. So Ahsoka assisted, and she dispelled the zombies' taunt. Let's go ahead and work on Talzin. Her plague is the most dangerous. Let's save the dispel for now. Okay, now let's provide a taunt to 5s. So one dispel is down, and one revive is down. Let's do another one. Okay, I need some more healing. All right, let's get tenacity up, and let's heal 5s. Okay, now we need to target Daka, since we don't want her to revive. Okay, she has been revived. let's just give this to 5s, and let's reduce the turn meter over here. Offense up. Let's heal up Rex. Okay, and let's work on Daka. What does this do again? Okay, we don't have 5s to taunt anymore, so we'll have to keep working on these guys. I really want to get Dark out of there, but it may not be possible. Alright, this might have to be a cleanup team. Yeah, it's going to be a cleanup. Alright, this is great. Now I should be able to annihilate Daka with this ability, just barely. Excellent. And now maybe let me get some protection down on Asajj. Okay, so we lose this, but at least this is going to be an easier double shot without Talzin and Daka. Let me see what I can take against these guys. But that's another reason why I wanted to use Rex Lead, because of the turn meter gain. It's simply amazing with these guys. Okay, so what do I want to use to clean up Sisters? Let's see what I have. I have my prepared squad, but I don't want to waste them right away. Do I have any Jedi that I can use with healing? I do have Varys and you know what, I think I'm going to take my Evox against these Sisters to clean up. There's no Plague to worry about, there's no Revives to worry about, and one less stun to worry about. And we have Days, which will be helpful against Asajj Lead. So let's see if Evox are able to clear these guys. Let's just select that from here. All right, let's get started. Now I'm 100% sure, 90% sure that this battle is going to error out, because typically when I play Evox, my phone freezes. Right, let's continue. Give this to Elder. Days everyone. There we go. And let's revive. Let's get Asajj out of there as soon as we can. We'll have to do it 3 times. Let's work on let's keep working on Asajj. Let's get rid of Foresight on her. Let's hide Elder. Need to wait for the Days to come around again. Oh, there we go. This is what I was expecting. My phone freezes every time I play with Evox. So Evox are the real culprit. It's not my phone. It's not anything else. It's just the buffs that these guys give out. The only time that my phone has frozen after I got a new one is whenever I play Evox on offense or I end up playing against an Evoc team and I'm not able to take them out in more than a minute or so. So Evox are definitely the culprit when it comes to these bugs on the phones. I don't know what it is about the mechanics. Maybe it's the amount of buffs they give out or something like that. But yeah, this is Evox are the main cause for the freeze. So yeah, it looks like I'm not going to be making any progress over here, so I'll have to just go ahead and restart. Um, yeah, that's unfortunate, but I'll have to probably take in another team to clear this. Okay, so let me just restart my phone and then I'll resume recording. All right, so we're restarting the app. Now let's figure out what else we can take against the sisters to clean them up. Unfortunately, we don't have any bounty hunters, otherwise Boba and Django would have been perfect to clear those guys up. With executes, it just prevents the revives, but now I'll have to essentially kill five of them. So, one of them three times and then the other two. So it's going to be it's going to take a decent team to get rid of them. I could have probably used Evox against crew, but now I don't even know what to use against that. All right, so what do I use against Nightsisters now? Hmm. Let me clear crew with my prepared scoundrel team. I was saving my prepared scoundrel and nest for the geos at the back because I'm sure there's going to be. Actually, I'm surprised. Yeah, I think I'm sure that there's going to be geos and Darth Revan at the back over here, which I may not be able to clear both geos and Darth Revan because those are the only major teams left. Well, he didn't have EP on defense as well, but those two are really well developed teams for him. So I'm sure he has Geo and Darth Revan behind. I don't think I have anything to clear. Well, I do have my Padme team, but yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to clear it because my Padme is without Ahsoka, so I may not be able to clear it. So I might as well clear the rest of the teams with good efficiency. I should have gone in with Padme with against Nightsisters right from the beginning. Um, but yeah, let me see if I can't clear crew and Nightsisters and then see what's at the back. Okay, so what should I use against them? Okay, one thing I want to try on the crew team is Karth. That's something that I have. Karth with Nest. Now, typically the reverse works. Crew is a really good counter to Karth, but Nest does have days, and these guys don't have a second taunt. Um, so I'm hoping that Zalbar and team Zalbar will be able to tank it out, and Mission and Zalbar Mission applies days as well, so that's an additional source of days. So hopefully that should be able to get the job done. Now his first order officer is pretty speedy, 272 with the bonus, but my nest is faster, so I should be able to go first and get a jump on them using my Karth team. So let's do that. Let's see if Karth and Nest work against first order because I don't have Evox against them, so this will have to do. Okay, let's reduce some turn meter. And Nest has taken that out, the taunt out, but he's taunting again. So let's dispel the debuffs. And let's go under stealth. All right. So Nest has dispelled the taunt. Let's go ahead and take care of First Order Officer. There we go. So he's gone. Now let's see if we can't get rid of Executioner. There we go. It's getting some good damage done. And this should hopefully take it. Yes, that's it. Now let's go after this guy. Let's recover some protection. All right, so he's been stunned again. Oh, you know what? I should have dispelled crew with the basic, but yeah, good thing is Nest does a lot of counters, so she's able to dispel crew pretty easily. Let's land a big hit and almost done with crew. Let's land another daze and let's take care of Kylo. Fortunately lost Karth, but I think the battle is in control. Okay, another stun, and yep, it's done. So, yep, so these guys work in reverse as well, provided you have a more reliable source of days like Nest. So that's good to see. Now let's see what we can take against the Nightsisters that we've messed up. So looks like I have just a few teams left on offense. I have the Padme team, I have the CLS team, and I have my Kira team. I probably will take Kira in there just because I want to save Padme for the Watt team, and CLS for Treya definitely. So I think these guys are the only good cleanup that I have left. Let's see what light side I have available. Yeah, I just have Padme and CLS. That's about it. So unfortunately, this may be 3 zones. I think maybe the extent of our offense today. But let's clear this the sisters, and then let's clear up the zone at the back, because I don't think we'll be able to touch Darth Revan or C3PO or Geos. Okay, do I have any other scoundrels who could be useful? Let's see, scoundrels. Nope, nobody else. Okay. Do we have anyone with days over here? Days actually could be useful. Nah, that's fine. We've got Vander for revives, and we've got a constantly taunting tank, so it shouldn't be a big deal. All right. Let's dispel. Let's give this to L3, and let's get some retribution going. Ability block. Let's start taunt over there. Days. So we do have a days on this team, which is going to be Kira's basic. All right, let's call an assist on everyone so that we lose Asajj. Pass this over to Han. So that is the first revive. Okay. And let's keep working on these guys. let's get rid of Asajj a second time, and then we can start really going to town on them. Good thing is these guys have got a lot of protection, recovery, and as long as there's no plague, these guys should do fine. Okay, big hit. So that's both the revives done. And the good thing is stuns really don't stick with these guys because L3 keeps dispelling all the debuffs, including the ones on herself. Let's give this to L3. And let's pass the prepared over to Vandor since he needs that. And let's call a mass assist. Okay, we don't need to heal anyone yet. Let's pass this on to L3. And we're almost through to, yeah, that takes care of it. Now let's go after Spirit. Now it should be a relatively easier job. Still have to deal with zombies' annoying taunts. But yeah, I think we'll get through this. We still have a couple of minutes left. Unfortunately, these guys don't have buff immunity because zombie can get really irritating. Let's just save that for now. The good thing is offense is building up, so I just need one good hit on Spirit or a mass assist like this, and she's down. So a good cleanup team for Nightsisters, although it takes time. But I don't know how that would have gone if Plague was there or if Daka was there too with the revives, because these guys are slow working, the prepared scoundrel. So it's very limited. So surprisingly, he hasn't kept his geos on defense. Maybe he thought that, oh, he did keep his Brood Alpha with his Darth Revan. That's interesting. Because maybe he thought I might use Javas against his Brood Alpha, against his Geo team. And he has his EP team with Malik. That's interesting as well. Wow, that's a strong team because Malik is pretty fast, 302. So that's great, and his Thrawn is 284 as well. So in this team, what's going to happen is Thrawn is going to go. Malik is going to go first. 209, yeah. So his Malik is going to go first, apply shock, and then start taunting, and then you're going to have two taunts, both Shore and Malik, and then Vader is going to go and apply debuffs, and then the turn meter train is going to get rolling, and these guys are, Thrawn with his fracture will incapacitate the tank in my team, and then EP, Malik, and Vader will basically run through my team. So creative team, well thought of. Unfortunately, I was planning to ignore this zone altogether because I really don't have anything. The zone up top is easier, so I might just go and finish that. And then we have, this is a team actually that I run in the arena, which is Darth Revan with the Geo Brood Alpha. I run, I think, Malik instead of Sith Marauder, but Brood Alpha is a good fit in this team as well, just because of the pre-taunt and the ability to recover from a force drain. So yeah, these two are tough teams. I'm not even going to touch them. I'm just going to go and if he had kept these teams in the front, I would have probably had a tough time taking them out and wasted a lot of teams getting through them. And probably might not have anything left towards the end, because light side does have very limited offensive options. So let's go ahead and finish this. I'm going to use my CLS against the Treya team, and then Padme versus the other team, the Watt team, and hopefully that should be enough. Okay, then I have to see what teams to take against this. Let's go with my rebels. And I want to save C3PO for my... I might just end up using C3PO here because... yeah, because I don't know if I'll be able to finish Treya and team. C3PO will be quite useful against Watt as well, to prevent the taunt. But what else do I have over here? I've got Scarif Rebel Pathfinder, who's a good tank. Or maybe I go with Old Ben with the turn meter generation. Should I go with this team or should I use Han, Captain Han? You know what, let me just go ahead with this and figure out the Padme team later. What Galactic Republic do I have for taking the other one out? Okay, I've got Clone Sarge that I can probably put in over there for some damage. Yeah, it's a weaker Galactic Republic team, but I think I should be able to... let's take a look at what we have there. Yeah, a lot of debuffs, so cleanse will be handy. Okay, I think we can go in with the squad that we had over here, because Treya is definitely the tougher team, and I'm running really low on teams right now. So let's go with this and try to get Treya down. So let's go after Nihilus first. And get rid of him. Reduce some turn meter. And give this to Han. Let's get rid of the tank. And let's work on Scion. Okay, good thing he didn't get held by hatred. Let's get confused on him and get rid of him. And now we can start working on Treya. Hopefully she'll isolate, what do we call it? Old Ben. But before working on Treya, I want to get rid of, this guy, Sidious, because I don't want his AoE to get any of these guys down, because all these assists, Chewie is going to be really low on life, and I really don't want Chewie to end up biting the dust because of Sidious. So that's why I decided to go ahead and take care of him first. Alright, so we managed to end with everyone alive. I think I definitely needed C3PO there, because this was the tougher of the two teams. Now let's take in the rest of our Galactic Republic against this and finish it off. So he's going to give the taunting tech to this guy, Sith Trooper, and yeah, let's see how this goes. Hopefully we should be able to avoid any debuffs. Let's go with Galactic Republic, and let's go with Clone Sarge, because I need an attacker to replace Ahsoka. And I need all Galactic Republic because I need Kenobi to taunt. Okay. Now what's going to go first? There you go. Let's give protection up to everyone so that debuffs don't stick. Now the second tech has also been applied to Django, so Water is very close to applying the third tech as well. Let's go ahead and finish off this guy. There we go. And now let's take care of Dooku. And then what? Yep, that should do it. Let's cleanse those debuffs. Reduce some turn meter. Now this guy is gonna Droidica is gonna one-shot someone. Well, okay, GK managed to tank it, so that's good. Yep, I'm glad I went with C-3PO on the other team, because that C-3PO would have been overkill in this team. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, Padme, GK, and Anakin are extremely strong just by themselves. You really don't need anyone else. All right, so I think I did, apart from the Nightsister team, which had multiple battles, the others were all one shot between 55 to 60 points. So efficiency wise, I think I'm okay. I have absolutely nothing left to take this team out, and I'm glad I decided to ignore this team, because if you take a look at my light side characters, what I have left, yeah, there's absolutely nothing left to take this team out. And I doubt whether any of these guys would have been able to do anything against Treya or anyone else at up top. So BobaFett is going to struggle against my defense as well, because I've kept Darth Revan in the front with the Geos. So that, I think, should give him some problem. I'm hoping that he exhausts some tough teams over here and then struggles with my sisters and Grievous at the back. So let's see how this goes. He can't afford to ignore my Darth Revan, because he'll end up losing, because he needs to expose it to see the weak teams at the back, which is why it's important to keep your strongest teams in the front, so that in case you get stuck, you have to make sure that your opponent gets stuck as well, and not get a whole zone advantage on you. Alright, so that was fun. Light side versus dark side battle. I mean, we proved what we all knew was true all along, which is dark side is, at this point of the game, is definitely much stronger, at least 2 or 3 teams stronger than the light side. But I'm sure that's going to be rectified, because we have a light side TB coming up, and Galactic Republic clones, and maybe we'll have a few other Galactic Republic characters to really boost up the light side faction. So let's look forward to that over the next month. The login character is Clone Sarge, so I'm sure there might be a few more reworks / new characters who might be coming out, which might help us with the light side buffs. Okay, so that's about it for the second session. I'll give you guys an update on how how BobaFett decides to go ahead with the offense. He did say that he may record the battle, so if he's able to do that, then I will leave a link in the comment section down below, so that you guys can check that out as well, how my defense performs, so you can see that as well. But otherwise, I'll give you guys an update pretty soon. So this was a really fun match. I got to thank Boba again for providing for being flexible with me and my requests. This was a lot of fun. It's a good relaxing match, a good way to unwind after the tough match last week. But I know it's going to end up costing both me and BobaFett banners, but that's fine. It was fun anyway. I wanted to try something like this out. So if any of you guys ever meet me in the future, or if you recognize some of my opponents, they might be your guildmates or friends, let me know if you want to try do something fun like this and try some theme. I'm always open to new and creative ideas, and for me, having fun is more important than actually winning the game. So I'm open to stuff like this if you guys have any ideas, if you face me in the future. All right, so that's it for today. I will catch you guys in a couple of days when we face two more really tough opponents. All right, thanks for joining in. I'll catch you guys later.